Picture this, a vast plaza under a rose-tinted sky, where the scent of spiced tea drifts on a gentle breeze. Yet this isn't the Middle East or ancient China. It's New Kyoto 2125, the heart of a revived tradition known as the Memory Blossom Festival. For a century, scholars, artisans, and everyday citizens have gathered each spring to celebrate the interweaving of past and future through living archives, holographic petals, and communal storytelling. Tonight, you are one of them, and the air crackles with anticipation. You arrive at dusk, when the first of 10 million bioluminescent cherry trees come alive. Their blossoms glow like lanterns, each petal an ultra-thin data crystal carrying snatches of recorded memory. A great-grandmother's lullaby, a schoolchild's first steps, the laughter of friends long gone. In 2125, we have perfected the fusion of organic and digital, living trees that photosynthesize, vibrate to tune our emotions, and bloom only when fed with heartfelt recollections. These recollections are curated by citizen archivists, reskilling adult learners just like you, who extract, sanitize, and encode personal stories into the trees. As you weave through the crowd, you notice small circles of people seated on wooden benches. Each circle is guided by a memory weaver, an expert trained in narrative restoration. Tonight's central theme is Journeys of Perseverance, a nod to the 2020s when the world reassessed its values and rediscovered the strength in shared hardship. One group huddles around a grandmother tree, its bark etched with the kids of inscriptions, listening to 70-year-old pianist recount the day she composed her first melody on a solar-powered baby grand. Her voice, once recorded on brittle flashcards, now resonates through the grove via microsonic speakers embedded in the roots. You pause at a kiosk offering Temporal Tea. A friendly barista explains that each blend is infused with nanoflora engineered to erode specific memory pathways in the brain. One sip may transport you back to your childhood kitchen. Another conjures the exhilaration of your first lecture in University Hall. This tea was developed after studies demonstrated that associating flavor molecules with emotional content increases both memory retention and empathetic resonance by 67%. For learners retracing their academic journey, it's an intoxicating bridge between lived experience and intellectual curiosity. Moving on, you encounter the archival carousel, 12 gravity-defying platforms rotating above a mob. Participants step onto a platform, input a keyword, perhaps courage, loss, or hope, and the platform disappears into darkness. Moments later, it emerges, illuminated and vibrating with a one-of-a-kind holographic vignette. Your chosen theme transposed onto a century-old folk tale. The last rider disembarks in tears, having witnessed her mother's diary spring to life as a digital puppet. The technology draws on generative narrative models, calibrated against centuries of oral tradition, ensuring that every story feels both ancient and freshly minted. At the heart of the plaza stands the Archive Lantern Tower, a spiraling edifice of glass and data stream. Ascending its steps, each inscribed with a different generation's name, you reach the Memory Spire, where thousands of candles float in zero gravity. Each flame represents a learner who reclaimed a lost fragment of knowledge, an elderly mathematician rediscovering non-Euclidean geometry, a former factory worker mastering quantum coding, or a single parent finding solace in Renaissance art. As you settle onto the spire's transparent floor, you watch the candles drift upward in silent procession, a visual theorem of hope proven by each rekindled mind. Down below, poets recite echoes of tomorrow, an anthology compiled from festival submissions across the globe. Verses are projected onto the plaza's dome roof, morphing with the crowd's collective heartbeat. Senses pick up applause, laughter, even tears, and adjust the color palette accordingly, from warm ambers to cool indigos. This is data-driven empathy in action, a massive feedback loop that harmonizes individual emotion with public art, reminding every relearner that they are part of something far greater than themselves. As midnight approaches, the festival reaches its crescendo. The blooming oath. Each participant steps forward, takes a single glowing petal from the grandmother tree, and whispers a personal vow, perhaps to finish that long-delayed diploma, to master a new language, or simply to tell their story. The petals ascend in a choreographed flux, merging into a galaxy of light high above. In scientific terms, it's the most precise demonstration of collective neural entrainment ever recorded, synchronizing 10 million hearts in one unified pulse. Finally, the holographic petals dissolve. The cherry trees dim, and silence falls, pregnant, expectant. You stand there, heart pounding, brimming with curiosity. What stories will you contribute next? Which traditions will you help resurrect for the generation after yours? As you make your way home, the aroma of spiced tea lingers. The echo of piano keys fades, but the sense of possibility remains. In 2125, learning is not just a path to personal advancement. It is the very soil from which our most cherished tradition bloom anew. And tomorrow, when the sun rises, a new cycle begins, inviting you once again to plant the seeds of memory and watch the future blossom.